Hey, what's up, folks? It's Jesse with Keeping Real Finance, channel that always says your back and tells it like it is. Well, today's video is your weekly JASME update, 2 weeks in the making. So I didn't have it last week. I was out of town. This week, I wanted to wait until Friday to really kind of capture everything I possibly could. Some themes that are going on in this video, we're going to be talking about the DD coin. I know there's been a lot of questions in the community about DD coin over the last week. We're going to be talking about NFTs. I got a lot to say about NFTs in this video. So there's a lot of information there. I put together sort of an easy to read spreadsheet for you all. I'm going to give a shout out to some of my friends here in the community. And after all that, we'll wrap it all up with some final thoughts on what it all means in this week's weekly update. Okay, so if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit the like button. If this is your first time to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you click the bell, you'll be made aware whenever I post time-sensitive content just like this. And now, let's get it going. Hey, what's up, everybody, and happy Friday to everybody out there, whether it's the morning, the evening, wherever you're at. It is Friday, and you know that means it's time for the weekly JASME update. So I didn't get a chance to do it last week when I was on vacation. Had a few things to go over in today's video. The theme of this one's going to be kind of covering roadmap, a lot to do with NFTs. We'll be talking about DD coin. So all that's going to be in this video. And so with that, we're going to kick it off right here with this roadmap update that came out earlier this week. So in this particular roadmap, we've got quarter number 2, which basically I would assume would be running through this month, June. We've got quarter number 3 for 2022 and quarter number 4. So some of the things that are in here, and again, I'm not sure how much I would read into this. I think sometimes our community tends to read a little too far into what's being posted. And the reason why is because, this is a worldwide community. Everybody's looking for information. It's a 24-hour news cycle, right? And I think sometimes we read a little too far into what are just simple projections, okay? So the reason I say that is because this roadmap is pretty generic, all right? So when you're looking at this, we've got kind of the same basic topics through each quarter here, but just expanded a little bit further each time. So for example, 50 exchange listings plus through second quarter. Third quarter, we want to hit 60. Fourth quarter, we'll hit 70. So I didn't even know there was that many exchanges, but apparently JASME is trying to hit absolutely all of them. We've also got this projection of partners for 10 partners to 12 partners to 15 partners. So I'm actually really looking forward to that one. So hopefully we can get a few more partnerships that can expand upon our original consortium. So what's really unique with JASME is this whole consortium idea. And if you look back through the history of the company, dating back to 2016, a lot of the companies that they're partnered with, they've been partnered with from the get-go, from way back, right? Centrality, WITS, VIO, the various Transcosmos, all these various companies, most of them have been partners from the beginning. And so I would really like to see new partners brought into the mix of the consortium. I think that'd be a really good thing. Okay. Now, we have also got reference here for quarter 2 to the Happiness Project that's going on. And what changes here in quarter 3 and quarter 4, you've got this DD coin development and DD coin release for fourth quarter. So what's really interesting in the roadmap is basically fourth quarter has all of the releases. So we've got the JASME fan token for Segentosu release. We've got DD coin release. We've got fan token platform development. That could be really, really interesting. DD coin release, Happiness Project, JASME AI, and labor productivity release. So all those releases should be coming fourth quarter. So it could be a really interesting fourth quarter. Now, between now and then, because we're still in that 50 weeks of IR all the way through September, that would carry us, if you think about it, that would carry us into quarter 3. And if they're looking to expand the exchange listings it is possible that 50 weeks could be expanded to 75 weeks if you look at it in terms of exchange listings, right? So it's possible they could continue to add, they could continue to release additional tokens as liquidity as part of that. Highly recommend anybody out there, if you don't follow Dip Metaverse, he has been posting, he's on Twitter, he's on YouTube, he's on Reddit. But in particular on Reddit, he posts a lot in there. And he has got a spreadsheet. His spreadsheet game is top notch. So shout out to you, man. Really good with spreadsheets, accounting background. He's tracking pretty much every single time that tokens are released. He's got all of it in there, and it basically coincides with these various centralized exchange listings. So if you ever want to know what's going on the Etherscan front, I'm probably going to drop off of that and not really cover that anymore because I think he's got that angle pretty well covered. So shout out to you. Check out his YouTube page, give him a follow. Like I said, he also posts regularly on Reddit, so check that out. Right now, moving forward, so here was a Reddit post that came out a little bit earlier in the week. A little bit bearish, but basically the gist of it was, how is this DD token being unveiled good for us? And the gist of the post kind of said, look, we're all invested in Jasmy, which is true, right? So how is it good for us if they create a stable coin, DD coin? And how does this coin work, right? Everybody's kind of wondering and looking for information. How exactly does that work? Well, going to my website, I had posted this blog article on May 15th, and I referenced DD coin in it, the stable coin. This is exactly where DD coin comes into play. So this image is my own image. This is not Jasmy's image. I made it myself on Canva. All right. So there it is. Now, the way that this works is that the user puts their data through the SKC, the Secure Knowledge Communicator, goes through, and it's stored in the personal data locker, the PDL, right? So the merchants who then come along and say, hey, well, I'd like to get access to the secure user data. They pay with Jasmy token. They pay to get access to the PDL. And then the user who put in the original data is compensated with DD coin, the stable coin. So DD coin is based on the Japanese yen. So this is a collateralized stable coin idea. Now, I think where people get nervous about this one is it is not in the white paper. This is an idea that has come along later down the road. And I think the reason why is that when you really start digging into the Jasmy project, I don't know if I would say it's a blockchain project. I think it's a personal data locker project. So you got to realize that with all these guys coming from corporate Sony, this is more like a corporate project is basically what it is. It's not like your typical blockchain project that is based all around blockchain and was created from a hackathon, and then it's a group of friends and now they're expanding. That is not what this is at all. So this is more so, I think, a personal data locker project. And from that, they then work on these various partnerships across the board with various companies to introduce the blockchain aspect and team up together and work in these consortiums. Okay. So to say that Jasmy is a blockchain project, it is, but I don't know if that's necessarily the core here. I think the core technology is the Secure Guardian and the SKC. Okay. So going back to DD Coin, though, DD Coin is basically just a stable value marker. So if you think about it, the reason that they're using a stable coin, first of all, and again, this isn't really a foreign concept to introduce a stable coin. Just about every blockchain out there has a stable coin on it because sometimes you need just stable money, right? And I think the reason that they do that with Jasmy for this DD coin, why this idea has come about, is that let's say they did not have DD coin, okay? And so they're compensating users for their data with Jasmy. Well, Jasmy is going to fluctuate up and down. And so for a company with people who have a strict corporate background from somewhere like Sony, I think it would be very difficult to track the actual value of data if you did not have a stable coin to compensate for that platinum data. Okay. So I think that's kind of the most important piece of this, is that from their side, they need to be able to accurately value the data. And in order to do that, they have to have a stable coin that is set to the Japanese yen. Okay. Now, is this good or bad for Jasmy token? I think it's a good thing. And so with DD Coin, Hara has mentioned, and I've seen it in one or two interviews where they've talked about this, that it's going to be fully exchangeable with Jasmy. And so where will you exchange it? Well, we need the Jasmy wallet. We don't have the wallet yet. That's like one of the key things here that we need in this whole project, is we need the wallet. Because what the wallet does is, when users access that wallet, that is where they would also be compensated in DD coin. So if you were a user and you had a Jasmy wallet, you would have your Jasmy in there and you would have your DD coin. Now, your DD coin is equal to the yen, or you could exchange it then for Jasmy itself. And so I put together a little spreadsheet, and I wanted to show you all kind of the way I view this. All right. So up top here, we've got the coin, Jasmy, right? We've got the blockchain, and then we got the purpose. So for Jasmy itself, it is built on the Ethereum blockchain. So it is an ERC20 token, which is how the vast majority of altcoins start, is as ERC20 tokens. Now, what's different and what's a little bit of a wrinkle into this whole thing is the partnership with Centrality. So Centrality is their consortium chain, is the way they refer to it, right? So this is their partner that they work with. And why Centrality? Well, because Sheng Guo, who's on the team, used to work at Centrality. Okay, so that, I think that has a lot to do with this. But so Centrality is a layer 2 solution. So all that means is that Ethereum basically has a scaling problem. It has a gas fee problem. It cannot scale. The future of any blockchain of technology, period, has to be interoperable and it has to be scalable. And Ethereum in its current state is not very scalable. Okay. So because of that, you have layer 2 solutions that have come about. And for example, I've got Polygon listed here. Polygon is a layer 2 solution. So you put this on top of the layer 1, which is the current Ethereum blockchain, and you make it scalable for transactions. That's all we're doing, is we're trying to increase throughput transactions. Any blockchain has to have throughput. They have to be able to transact. They have to be scalable. That's key, scalability, right? So with the Jasmy coin, the way it would work is the purpose, first of all, is for investors. So anybody who's investing into Jasmy, the project, you're going to buy the Jasmy coin. Okay. This is no different than investing in the stock market and buying stock. When you buy that stock, you're investing in the company, and then the company can take your money and they can do whatever they need to do in terms of their research and development or whatever they're doing, right? So that's number one here. Number two, as I mentioned, it activates the future wallet. So we need this wallet. We don't have it yet. All right. So at some point in time, Jasmy is going to release a wallet. And when they do, the way that you will activate your wallet is by transferring in your Jasmy coins into that wallet. Okay. Now, as I mentioned in my image that I had created, businesses looking to purchase data and the PDL will use Jasmy. They will pay in with Jasmy. And the way that I've read this in the past is that they will pay for essentially a license. So think of it as different license tiers. So, for example, if Nippon Travel Agency wanted access to 5,000 users through the PDL, there may be a license tier based on 5,000 users. Okay. If they want access to 100,000 users, there could be a license tier based on 100,000 users. they would then pay into it that way. Okay. Now, moving down further, where it gets really interesting is with the metaverse. So, this is from the Binance Academy article. The metaverse will then use the Jasmy token as a unit of exchange within the metaverse. You will use it for staking and liquidity pools, so earning rewards, or you will use it in governance through the DAO. So, the way the governance works, whether it be on Jasmy or pretty much any other project out there, is that token holders vote on proposals for the network, right? That's how it works. So when you are a holder of the Jasmy token, the coin essentially, you will then be able to vote on governance through the DAO, which stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization, right? Next, we have DD coin. So the DD coin, this is the stable coin, right? So the way I see this working is most likely through this consortium chain with the Centrality Partnership, right? So it's a stable coin used to compensate users for their data. It is a stable marker. It is a way for the company to measure what data is actually valued at. If we didn't have that, it's going to be really hard to measure the data and see what it's actually valued at. That's why having a stable coin is kind of a critical function. And I think they've realized that as time has gone on, right? Also, I may as well say this now. I think a lot of people sort of get wrapped around the axle about um, the white paper, right? And they say, oh, well, that wasn't in the white paper. So therefore, why is it coming out now, right? Well, not everything is always thought up in the white paper. Projects change, things change. I can remember with, Ethereum in particular, a good example of this. They vote on a proposal, all of a sudden something changes. It's completely different now, right? They did that with, I think it was the mining rewards, one of the proposals, however many months, year ago, whatever that was. And prior to that, you get a lot of people that really get fixated on, well, here's what it says in the white paper, so this is what it always is. That's not true. So if you look at these DAOs, the Decentralized Autonomous Organization, if the community votes to change the way that this project is ran, then the project will change. Okay. So we've got that. Now, the DD stablecoin, as I mentioned, is pegged 1-to-1 to the Japanese yen and able to be exchanged with Jasmy through the wallet. That is the concept. No one has seen this. I haven't seen this. I have no idea what this looks like. Neither does anybody else. But that's the idea that they've discussed. Okay. Next, we also have this idea of a fan token. So let me explain this. So I'm not sure everybody fully understands the way these NFTs work. So there is a NFT standard on Ethereum, which is ERC 721. This is the NFT standard. Okay. Well, basically, we're talking about doing the exact same thing with Jasmy, but the difference with Jasmy is we're incorporating the personal data locker with the NFTs. Okay. So how I think this would work is probably going to be, as I mentioned here, Polygon. This is how it is with the current Jasmy Clubhouse. Now, could it be done through this consortium chain centrality partnership? I suppose it probably could, because again, all we're talking about is a layer 2 solution. Polygon is a layer 2 solution to Ethereum. The consortium chain is a layer 2 solution to Ethereum. All we're talking about is bringing scalability. That's it. Transactions per second, throughput. That's all we're talking about. Okay, so don't overcomplicate this. So if you look at the purpose of the fan token, the token services. So for example, NFT used for insider access for Sega and Tosu, right? So they've talked about this a couple of times before, that you could have the NFT on your phone and it basically captures all of your data. And so you scan it when you go in the door, you scan it when you leave, and it knows everything that you've done while you were there visiting the match for Sega and Tosu. Okay. In terms of the Jasmy Clubhouse NFT, so I'm going to show this in a second because I think this is pretty cool. So they came out with this a couple months back, and I kind of glossed over it a little bit. I saw where Hara had made one of the NFTs his profile image for a while. I thought it was pretty cool, whatever. But that was about it. I didn't really pay any further attention to it. Well, these particular Jasmy Clubhouse NFTs, and I'm going to show you in a second, are made they're minted through Polygon. And what they do is they give you access. Okay. And so I noted here the purpose used to verify uniqueness. So this is their words from various interviews I've read with the team, that's what they are looking at here. They're verifying uniqueness through these NFTs with the personal data locker. Okay. So going down here, I had a couple of quotes I just want to run through real quick. And this one on the DD coin, this one was from that Reddit post, that bearish Reddit post. But it says, DD coin's common currency with the yen denominated stablecoin function. We want to make it a mechanism the users can easily accumulate like points in exchange for providing their own data. Pretty sure that was from Hara or Sato that said that. It was one of them. And it was in their big interview that they did, I want to say in April. That's where that came from. Okay. So again, users can easily accumulate like points in exchange for providing their own data. And the way it helps the team is that it's a lot easier to set a value to the data when we have a fixed number. Okay. Now, outside of that, I'd mentioned this quote. This was from an AMA. I mentioned this last week, but it's worth mentioning again. So what are the benefits of holding your token as a long-term investment? So this is the Jasmy token, the one that we're all buying on the various crypto exchanges. So can you tell us about the motivation and benefits for investors to keep your token in the long run? And this was coming from Hara. Theoretically, the value of Jasmy coin will increase as the amount of platinum data stored in the personal data locker, a key service offered by Jasmy, increases. So as the value of data increases, they think that the Jasmy coin will increase. So as the amount of data stored in PDL increases over time, long-term investors can expect to see significant capital gains. So as more data goes into the PDLs, it's going to become more valuable, and then the coin itself will become more valuable. Okay, that's the way they view it. Now, I want to go back here. Let me go to my next little segment. So here was the Jasmy Global site. Just wanted to do a quick highlight on this. I think Hara had mentioned this, so that's why I wanted to show it. Essentially, transactions total, we've got over 500,000 transactions with transactions per day at 425. So that tells me, if you look at these numbers here, we've got the present day and the target, right? And again, do not read too far into this. All this is projection. That's all they're doing, is projecting what they think the future could be. So if you look at the present, we don't have a whole lot of data, right? There's pretty much nothing there. Everything is just sort of notched out. And the reason why is because all of this is still pretty firmly in a beta testing phase. I mean, if you think about it, how could this work without the wallet? The wallet is critical, and we don't even have the wallet yet, right? So we really have to have the wallet in order to start doing the other sides of this. So the whole reason for showing you this is that this isn't a secret. If this was a secret, the team wouldn't have to share it, right? It's not a secret. So this is out there. Anybody can find it at jasmy.global. So what they're telling you is that we're in the beta testing phase. They're telling you we've got 500,000 transactions, and they're telling you as of right now, we're doing 425 a day. So that means that part of this 425, I'm assuming, is probably either with Secure PC or that Data Happiness project. And that could be where these transactions are coming from that are going on. All right. So a lot more to come on this whole topic here, but it's worth showing just to say that here's a barometer check of where we are. And in order to set a realistic expectation, you need to know that we're not going to get a lot further than this until we have a wallet. So we're going to need a wallet. All right. Moving on. So this next one here, this is from Twitter. And this is a tweet basically that Hara had posted where he says, this is PexPay, a new Jasmy listing, right? So he did his standard, introduction. We're ex-Sony executives, yada, yada, yada. And here is our latest centralized exchange listing, which should coincide with more coins going out as liquidity per the numbers that DIP Metaverse is tracking. Okay, so that's out there. Moving forward, this was really interesting. So this is a AMA The date on this says 2021, and DJ Zippy Crypto, shout out to you on Twitter, sent this over to me. There were some really interesting things here, and then really two in particular that I wanted to focus on. The first one here, these are user questions. So, question one: can you tell us about the progress of Jasmy's experiments in Hokkaido? Right. And guest reply says, well, in Hokkaido, a special government department has been established to carry out road testing. So this is with the WITS partnership. Remember, WITS is partnered with Toyota. So there are people who actually ride before the snowy day, which is very convenient. Advertisements can be posted in the car and in conjunction with the completion of the new baseball stadium in 2023. It's currently progressing smoothly. At present, it is advancing with Apple, and I believe that an agreement will be reached in the near future. So that's really interesting. So Apple, obviously one of the GAFA companies, has been working on driverless technology for quite a while, just as all of them have. What's interesting here, though, in particular, is they mentioned that this agreement will be reached. I believe that an agreement will be reached in the near future. So this is something that I think we need to follow back up on, obviously. So I haven't ever seen any other mention of Apple with anything with Jasmy anywhere. But what I do know, and this is really important, and I mentioned this in my past video as well as others, that Kunitake Ando was personal friends with Steve Jobs. I know that Steve Jobs was fascinated with Sony, and I know he used to go to their offices. I know he based the Apple Store off Sony's Style, which was ran by Katsumasa Sato, our current head of Jasmy. And so there's a lot of really tight Apple connections. Now, when it comes to current Apple, with somebody like Tim Cook, Apple is obviously much bigger now than it was before. And this driverless technology is something that's probably come about after Steve Jobs' death, right? So in terms of where we're at with this, I don't know. But I find it interesting that they actually mentioned Apple here. So again, I haven't seen Apple mention Jasmy absolutely anywhere. So until this is firmed up a little more, it's just sort of speculation, but interesting nonetheless. Okay. Now, going down further, there was another question here that I wanted to reference. This one, question 7. So, how to enjoy the benefits of Jasmy in China? So, what are the development plans for Jasmy in China? Okay. And it says the guest answered, we take digital currency as an opportunity to join Jasmy's unique technology and make it widely known as the first step. After that, we plan to cooperate with more Chinese enterprises that attach importance to information security. So in China, we currently plan to cooperate with, I don't know how you say this, was this Xiaomi, Huawei, UnionPay, Alibaba Data, and Amazon. So we are always trying to seek cooperation with them. This can further promote the usage scenarios of Jasmy Coin and create a global information security environment. So again, I think this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. The Jasmy, at least in my view, I don't think they're a blockchain company. I think they're a personal data locker company. That's what they really are. And that's what they're saying here. They're saying, hey, we've got this personal data locker technology, the Felicia chip, right? The Secure Guardian, the SKC. We've got this patented technology that is ours. And we would like to work with all of you various large-scale businesses / merchants in China to expand the use of our technology, and we think it will be highly valuable to you. That's what they're saying here. So a lot more to come on that, but what's interesting is that they're name dropping all of these companies here that they want to work with. Now, bear in mind that in their same building, they've got that Data Alliance. We've got BJIT, the technology company that I'm pretty sure, I want to say, is in China, along with like 7 or 8 other countries. They're all over the place. And so could this actually happen down the road that they end up working with these vendors? It is possible that they could work with them in some form or fashion. So I'm a firm believer that I don't think Jasmy has really given us anything a major headline yet. Let me just say it that way. I don't think we have a major headline yet with Jasmy. Most of what Jasmy is all ideas that are formulating. It's that bar of clay that we're molding into what could be a really, really excellent project. And in particular, it's the personal data lockers. That's the big part here, right? But going back to that Binance Academy article, it's also the metaverse. So it's the metaverse and it's personal data locker. So it's a unique idea. It's a unique combination. And then you throw in the government of Japan and how they're really pushing Web3, the metaverse, IoT. IoT is the way of the future. And Jasmy says that they can use, IoT with any kind of wearable device, the appliances in your house. IoT stretches out to everything. Anything that is plugged into the internet is Internet of Things. So that is anything. It's cars, it's all over the place. And so if you think about users and their secure data, Jasmy has a really, really good, I think, proof of concept here is kind of where we're at. Now we need to expand out much further than this. And we need to tell everybody that, hey, there's a lot of value here. And where I think it's really probably going to go a lot bigger is with that creation of the stadium in 2023, the Seigen Tosu, the fan token, the Nippon Travel Agency. This is the technology of the future. It really is. Everybody's going to look back on times like how they are now and sort of laugh at it, like, oh, they had no idea, and all these big companies didn't know how to market anything, and look at all the money they wasted on Super Bowl ads that didn't go anywhere at all, right? If they had just had this technology in place, then they could have been really specific. They could have got a much better bang for their buck, essentially, right? So, anyhow, moving on. I know I got off on a little tangent there. Wanted to share this, not because I think this is real or true, because I have seen this, and this is a great example of Reddit being Reddit, right? So somebody had posted here, just bought 3 million Jasmy coins. My friend in Japan says he works for a company that does ATMs. Jasmy ordered 8,500 of them to spread around Japan. Total, right? Is that true? Well, who knows? I don't know. That is not confirmed by Hara, by Jasmy Management, by Jasmy League, by Jasmy Global, by anyone. So anybody at Jasmy, no, that's not confirmed. Okay. But what's kind of funny, you go through these various comments and, everybody's like, come on, really? And, it's like, where's your source? And your source is like, told you so, bro. And yeah, trust me, bro, here it is. So anyways, I don't want to throw any water on this because who knows? It could be true. But I would not, me myself, I am a skeptic. And if something is true, it's going to come from the official team in a official news release. It would probably be released in that Nikkei Asia, the PR Times, one of those news sites, if this is indeed true. So I would just say for now, put this in the parking lot, save it for later. And if it comes out to be true down the road, awesome. All right. Moving on. So here's the Jasmy Clubhouse. Now, I wanted to share this with everybody because this actually came out a few months back, and I kind of missed this one. I definitely slept on this. So, Jasmy Clubhouse. So, if you look up top here, look, hey, there's Hara, right? He even has a name tag that says Hara, right? And then here's the rest of this colorful group of characters, okay? And they're in the Japanese Clubhouse. So, the reason I wanted to share this was I was Googling the other day Jasmy NFT, and this is the first thing that comes up, okay? Now, Jasmy NFT is much more than a piece of art of a cartoon of Hara. That is not what Jasmy NFT is. This is just sort of a fun version of it, right? Now, what's interesting here is that these particular NFTs are minted with Polygon, Matic. So it says here, public sales live. As of right now, we've had a little over 2,500 of 10,000 minted. So there's still quite a few left to mint. Okay. So they have a minting how-to guide that you can mint these yourselves through OpenSea, and you can get one. And they've got various links here, and I wanted to kind of show what that looks like. So if I click on this one, Here is the Jasmy Clubhouse OpenSea page. So here's some of those various NFTs that are for sale right now. You've got various characters here. They all look kind of cool. They've got little different things. This one's got a what's that? The Hattori Hanzo sword. That's kind of what I'm looking for from Kill Bill. This one's got a Vio laptop. That's pretty cool, right? And that's kind of a little interesting nod when you think about it. That Vio is trademarked. As far as I know, I think I had seen somewhere, maybe it was Dip Metaverse, said that it was either him or Lil Bidman on Reddit said that Sony still owns all of the trademarks of Vio. And so it's really interesting if you think about it that, look, this NFT here has a Vio laptop. That's a direct Sony Jasmy connection right there. So interesting. Now, all the ones that are for sale in here, there's this one here. I think this is one of the Haras. So there are 500 Hara NFTs, as well as some other unique ones, these samurais, etc. And if you buy one of them, or if you mint one of them, and you keep it in your MetaMask wallet, what can you do with it? Well, going back to the main Jasmy Clubhouse, so we've got some icons here on the side, and the way to get to this, by the way, it's just jasmyclubhouse.io. Okay. We've got the Reddit icon, the Discord icon, Twitter, and we've got OpenSea below. Okay. Now, if you have a Hara one, look at this. So it says the Hara VIP Club. Now, this is a club that I think I need to join, right? So it says Hara's VIP Club is part of the clubhouse where Hara himself often likes to spend his time. So how do you get to be a part of that? Well, if you go up and you click on the Discord link, it takes you over to the Discord page for Welcome to Jasmy Token International. Okay. Now look at this right here. It says collab.land. What does this mean? Well, what it means is that if you are holding one of the Hara NFTs and it is in your MetaMask wallet and you hit Let's Go and you connect, it will verify that you are a holder of that NFT, and then that will give you exclusive access to Hara's VIP Club. That's pretty cool. Okay. Now, again, like I said, full disclosure, totally slept on this, totally missed it. In truthfulness, I'm not very active in Discord. Where I am active is YouTube, obviously, Twitter, obviously. I kind of snoop around in Reddit, just about every Jasmy post I read, but I rarely kind of post on there. And Discord is probably a missed opportunity for me in particular, right? Now, why Discord's really important is that Hara has done AMAs on here, right? And if you're part of the Hara VIP Club, the odds that you get to ask a question that he actually answers are probably pretty good. So, anyhow, I've been thinking that I think I'm probably going to do a video in the future on exactly how to mint these NFTs and what that looks like, so people can see that it's really not hard to do. And then you can mint the NFT, and then you could have NFTs for the Jasmy Clubhouse. So that's kind of the point with that. Moving forward, here's Centrality. So I wanted to go to the Centrality site going back to earlier when I was talking about it being a layer 2 solution, right? That's what Centrality is, okay? And I think the reason that Jasmy is using Centrality in particular is because one of their team members used to work at Centrality. So there are some pretty close ties there. I've also showed in the past the Centrality team meeting with Kunitake Ando, all right? So what I wanted to show you, though, moving forward is this SensNet. So this is through Centrality. It says blockchain for the open metaverse, right? This is where that Jasmy connection comes together. So SensNet is a highly optimized Ethereum virtual machine compatible layer 2 blockchain. So again, what this does is it gives us scalability, it gives us throughput of transactions. That's what it is, right? We empower projects pushing the boundaries of what's possible with decentralized tech. Okay. So it says here affordable gas prices forever, right? So, when we used to be talking about, well, how is this whole Jasmy idea going to work, being based on Ethereum? Well, this is how. It's because they have a partnership with Centrality that is a layer two solution, right? Near free swaps. Okay, there you go, right there. Then it says breakneck speeds at 1,000 transactions per second. The funny thing is, I'm assuming when this came out or when they originally posted that, that was probably really fast. Centrality's been around quite a while. The first article that mentioned it that I found in the PR Times dated back to 2018. So I would imagine that as of today, this is a little bit outdated. There are other projects that have significantly higher TPS. All right. Ethereum virtual machines. So use our Ethereum smart contract system to bring your existing contracts, dApps, and mature tools to SensNet, native bridge module governed by the community, etc. That's what I wanted to highlight here. So the point of this is that this is geared towards the metaverse. Jasmy is going to be geared towards the metaverse. This is where you can see that partnership kind of coming to fruition with the transactions with the layer 2 scalability, 1000 TPS. Okay, there you go. Moving forward, I just want to highlight this for anybody out there who, if you go to prtimes.jp and you simply type in Jasmy, there are a ton of articles in here. Look at all these articles. Basically, just about everything you can think of in terms of the history of Jasmy. Many of them are all posted here in this PR Times. So highly recommend you checking that out if you get the chance. Now, from there, one of the articles I clicked on took me to this NFT Tokyo. And why this was important was this article in particular referenced our buddy in Silicon Valley. And if we scroll down here, there he is right there, Kentaro Mura, right? DoZen. Okay, so he was part of this NFT Tokyo. Now, I've tried to translate this a couple of times. For some reason, it just won't do it, so I'm not really sure why. But my point in all of this is that he was at a major NFT convention, and he was one of the key speakers. Okay, that's the point. Moving forward, they've got a little bit of his background, which I don't know if I had seen this before. But it mentions that it says he's the founder of DoZen, a connected devices company. So that's an IoT company. So again, this aligns with Jasmy. He's also the co-founder and CEO of DarkHash, a startup that's reinvented and boosted the hashing algorithm used in Bitcoin mining. So he's a pretty smart dude, right? Passionate, lifelong learner with expertise in interface experience design, product design, 0 to 1 entrepreneurship, and incubating new ideas. That's exactly what Jasmy is, right? We're incubating a new idea. Before starting his own company, his previous experiences including management for the VAIO laptops at Sony and mobile software licensing to operators and OEMs in Japan. So he's tightly connected in Japan. This particular conference here was in Tokyo. Okay. Now, Ken Mura lives in Silicon Valley, right? So it says here he's got a BS from Stanford, MBA from UCLA. He lives in Silicon Valley. This was kind of funny. He enjoys swimming and grilling. So he's a real person, I saw a couple of Reddit posts where they were talking about, is Hara a real person? Well, yeah, of course he's a real person. Ken Mura, he's a real person, right? So anyway, there you go. Now, I know this video is running a little long, so the last thing I've got here to show you is I've got the chart. So here's the current Jasmy chart. It's really been holding its own pretty well. It's never dropped below this 0.008 level. This is where it's at right now. It was sort of riding a downtrend. Now it's riding a little bit of an uptrend. So we'll see how long we can follow this uptrend. I do foresee some more choppiness in the market. If you see my other couple of videos over the last couple of days, I even had one of my longtime viewers say, "Boy, Jesse's getting bearish," and yeah, gotten a little bearish recently. It's my personal view. I think it'll be 2024 before we have a big rebound. Maybe we get one next year, maybe, but we got to have some good economic news for that to happen. So in the meantime, I think that Jasmy in particular is going to follow my predictions that I made in the video where I compared it to Cardano. So I think between now and then, we will float, give or take, between where we are right now and 20 cents. We'll go up, we'll go down, we'll go up, we'll go down, whatever, all the way through to the next halving, where at that point we will blow up big time. Okay. So what's key, I think, for the rest of this year, what's really important mainly is going to be that wallet. We got to get the wallet out there, right? We got to get the wallet. We got to get more active daily transactions. We got to get daily users, more expansion coming, right? So there's a lot more to happen with this project. It's still in the early development, right? So with everything I've discussed today, I'm going to wrap it up real quick now with some final thoughts. We'll bring it on home, and then we'll send y'all off to have a fabulous weekend. If you're enjoying today's video and you want to learn more, don't forget to visit our website at kirfinance.com. Once you're at the site, I've got tons of helpful links. I've got a financial blog that's completely free. I've even got links to our Patreon page where I recently lowered the pricing tiers across the board. We're trying to build a movement here with this site, and we're trying to get all of you to financial freedom. So if you want to get on board, make sure to check us out today. And now let's get back to the video. All right, so in our final thoughts of today's video, I want to first say, again, what I stated earlier, that I really don't think Jasmy is necessarily a blockchain company at the core. I think it is a personal data locker company. It's a technology company. This is like an expansion of Sony, okay? It is not really blockchain at the core. It's not a group of friends that worked at a hackathon. It's none of those things. It is personal data locker technology, and how we can then add blockchain to that, how we can expand into the metaverse. It's a company that's built on consortium. It's all about the partnerships here, and with the various partners that they have dating back to the very beginning, you know, their layer 2 solution with Centrality. I think for the average person, this is probably a little complicated and kind of a little bit hard to follow. And when you say, okay, well, it's this Jasmy project, how many coins are there? And what does each coin mean, right? Well, we've got the Jasmy coin. That's our utility coin. That's for metaverse, all those things I mentioned earlier. Then we've got the DD stable coin. It's a stable coin to give you a stable value on what data is worth. That's the point, okay? Is this bearish for the token? No, it's not, because you can exchange it readily with the token. Or at least that's the premise, okay? We don't have the wallet. We need the wallet. The wallet is critical. We really can't move forward with this project without the wallet, so we really have to have the wallet, okay? Now, we also talked a lot in this video about NFTs. So NFTs, the way I see it with Jasmy, it's all about the uniqueness of the user and tracking that user through their secure data in the PDL. That's what it's all about. They talk about using it in particular going in and out of sporting events. We talked about the fan token with Seigen Tosu. That's exactly what it is. It's insider access. It gives you a glimpse into the team. It tracks your data when you're there, right? I've talked about this before, that, you know, Jesse goes to watch Seigen Tosu. Well, where did he sit? He sat in the nosebleed section 3 levels up, right? So are we going to offer him tickets next time around for the bottom? Probably not, because he probably won't buy them because he's cheap, okay? So hey, he sat up there. Now, what else did he do while he was here? Well, because he showed up with his family, he bought multiple pizzas. Looks like they're a pizza-eating family. That true statement, right? So, hey, you know, we should market him a pizza deal while he's here. What else did he do? Well, it turns out he bought a really expensive jersey. Why did he do that? Well, because he likes to support the team. So he paid $100 for a Seigen Tosu jersey. So maybe we could offer him a new jersey that's coming around the corner, right? All of those things are tracked in that uniqueness of that NFT. So NFTs are not just pieces of art. They're very much so memberships, and they're very much so that PDL interconnectedness is where it really comes in. Now, the interesting thing saying that they're not just art is if you go to Jasmy Clubhouse, well, in that case, they are art. But when you add it to your MetaMask wallet, and if you have one of the Hara NFTs, then you can join Hara's VIP Clubhouse, right? So me personally, I kind of want to join Hara's VIP Clubhouse. So I'm going to have to check that one out. And like I said, I'm probably going to end up posting a video on this on exactly how to do it and what that looks like and whatever. I had posted the other day and somebody responded that they actually had 4 of them and that they never even joined his VIP Clubhouse. So that was kind of funny. But, you know, for those of us like me that always have a lot of questions and what's going on and what have you, I would like to be a part of that because then you could ask those direct questions to Hara himself and you'll have a better chance that he'll actually respond, okay? So I think that's really important. Now, going further in today's video, you know, I talked a little bit about Ken Mura. I talked about that NFT aspect. We really didn't say a whole lot regarding the centralized exchanges. I think as time goes on, they're going to get less and less and less. It's going to be all these exchanges we've never heard of. And like I said, my good friend Dip Metaverse, he's tracking all of this. His spreadsheet game is top notch. Give him a follow. And he posts about it regularly on Reddit. So you can see exactly where the current supply is. It's actually higher than the current self-reported supply right now. But that's fine. It can be this way. Again, I don't really foresee us having massive gains in this project until 2024. I really don't. I think that there's a lot of bearish economic news out there. There's bearish geopolitical news. The Three Arrows capital fallout is still ongoing, and that's going to be happening here for a little while. All that stemmed from Terra Luna. You know, there's just so many bearish things happening that I really don't see a big move upward coming at any point. Could we move up a little, move down a little? Yeah, whatever. But in the meantime, you know, Jasmy, as I've said all along, I think it's a steady DCA kind of deal. But in the long run, it could be a really, really good one, okay? I do see a lot of potential here, but in order to set your expectations, I mean, you really need to know that this is really kind of beta phase, right? And again, I think that our community, because we're all looking for news, right? We're looking for that next great thing to reach up and grasp onto and say, yes, I knew it, right? Say, yes, Jasmy has this amazing partnership. We're all looking for that thing to grab. But what you got to realize is that what's in the white paper, I mean, what's on the Jasmy Global website, all of this is just projection. It's generic projection, okay? Now, me personally, if they were a publicly traded company like in the stock market, I think they would have to give out a lot more information than they are. And I don't know if they're sort of being generic on purpose because they're so intermingled with all these other companies or what's going on under the surface, or maybe part of that has to do with the rules in Japan and the government of Japan and how the government is really pushing Web3, Society 5.0, IoT, Metaverse. All of that kind of comes into the mix here. But again, what's the most important thing is the personal data locker. That's what this company is. It's a personal data locker company. They're trying to put a value on data. They're trying to compensate people for that data. And by getting the data in the personal data locker, having it secure, they think they can market it better to various partners. IoT, you know, IoT connects to absolutely everything in our lives, and it will only be connecting further. So anyhow, that's what I've got in today's video. So hopefully that made sense on the DD coin, and people understand that that's really not a bearish thing. It's a good thing, and really it's a core function in just about every blockchain project that's out there anywhere. Every project, for the most part, has some sort of a stable coin. Now, not all stable coins are created equal. You know, some of them are algorithmic, like the Terra USD that failed, etc. In this case in particular, this one, though, would be based on the Japanese yen. So this is collateral based. That's a good thing. If there's one thing that the current crypto market has taught us, it's that collateral is extremely important, okay? You can't just have things based on nothing because eventually the linchpin goes and then the whole thing, you know, it's like an avalanche down the mountain. Everybody gets wiped out. So I think that's important. I can understand why they pivoted towards the DD coin. It makes sense. And so moving forward, you're going to have your Jasmy token, you're going to have the DD coin, and then you're going to have those NFTs. So those are 3 different aspects of the same project, okay? If you got any questions, leave them in the comments or check me out on Twitter, right? So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit the like button. As I mentioned, don't forget I'm also on Twitter at KIR Finance, where you can find me tweeting, retweeting, checking out there. And lastly, for a friendly reminder, this is Jesse with Keeping It Real Finance, channel that always says your back, tells it like it is, and I will see you on the next one. Later.